This presentation will be an exploration, discussion and evaluation of a range of pedagogies that might be employed in teaching humanities to the following Year 6 cohort. The Year 6 Humanities content provides opportunities for students to develop understanding through key concepts and provide focus for inquiry and investigation across the substrands of history, geography, economics and business, and civics and citizenship. While the Australian curriculum specifies what is to be learned in the classroom, it's the translation of that curriculum into learning experiences which will determine the success of the learning. Learning experiences need to be worthwhile and should reflect a number of principles. This unit of work, Our Class History, has been adapted from activities on the Australian Human Rights Commission website. Activities in this unit have links to the substrands of history, geography, civics and citizenship, and involve the following concepts for understanding the Australian curriculum as shown. Activities in this unit are designed with the Year 6 cohort in mind. Students learn the significance of their own culture and identity and how that forms who they are today. They explore their heritage and expand investigation into Australian migrants and where they have come from to develop deeper understanding of the mix of cultures that make up Australia. UDL involves translating the curriculum into meaningful, sometimes multifaceted learning activities that are relevant, accessible and engaging for all students. Multiple means of representation give all learners various ways of acquiring information and knowledge. This involves presenting information in multiple formats. For example, direct teaching would appeal to the boys, group discussion would assist the ADHD and EASL students and appeal to the girls. Differing assignments allows for each group in the cohort to achieve their best potential and relieves the pressure for low socioeconomic students. Visual, auditory and kinesthetic presentations cater for all different learning styles. Multiple means of expression provide learners alternatives for demonstrating what they know. This means offering multiple, perhaps non-traditional avenues for assessment, which go beyond written assignments or tests to include verbal and/or visual presentations and performances. Within this cohort, this allows for differentiation and formative assessment, permitting each child to demonstrate to their best potential their knowledge of the content. Multiple means of engagement to tap into all learners' interests, offer appropriate challenges and increase motivation. Differing needs, learning styles, abilities and interests are taken into account to ensure that strengths along with needs are addressed for all individuals. Differential instruction can enable for scaffolding of EASL and ADHD students, as well as extending high achievers and catering for the different learning styles of boys and girls, providing flexibility also for the low socioeconomic students. Developmental theories can guide and influence our teaching and include our pedagogical approaches, curriculum design and assessment methods. The learning environment is important to pedagogy. It should enable the fostering of cooperative and mutual support and positive relationships, not only between students and teachers, but between the students themselves. Designing and managing differentiated instruction can be challenging because students work at many different levels and at many varying paces. Theoretical routes for differentiated instruction can be linked to constructivism, and more specifically, Vygotsky's zone of proximal development, wherein students are capable of more than expected when working at more difficult levels with appropriate scaffolding or support. Key concepts need clarification to ensure understanding. Present material in different ways, written, orally, visually, to ensure that each student has the same opportunity of understanding of concepts, which is particularly useful for the EASL and ADHD students. Emphasise critical and creative thinking. Post objectives and goals and standards on the board using child-friendly language, pictures or icons for activities so that you provide each student with the best chance for comprehension. Also particularly helpful for EASL and ADHD learners. Foster and manage positive interactions. Encourage groups to be diverse in nature, where each child has the chance to make a positive contribution. Develop a balance between student and teacher-selected tasks, encouraging students to take charge of their own learning. CRT can be used to empower students intellectually, socially and emotionally, using cultural references that impart knowledge, skills and attitudes. Encouraging the sharing of cultural traditions and beliefs can also promote inclusiveness and understanding for EASL students. When students use a collaborative approach to find information and question each other regarding the lesson content, multiple layers of concept reinforcement can be achieved. This type of activity would appeal particularly to the girls in the cohort and would also be beneficial to all students. The unit also provides for both summative and formative assessment to enable varying ways to demonstrate knowledge. Assessment rubrics, peer assessment, portfolio assessment, and group work all provide different means of assessing content knowledge and different ways for students to demonstrate understanding. Assessment can also be used as a teaching tool, not only to inform teaching practices, but also to provide information about their students' learning styles, language proficiency, and cultures. Monocultural, monolingual societies are a thing of the past, and all educators are faced with the challenge of working with learners who are diverse in terms of culture, language, background, and learning ability.